top story of this week. It kind of has to be the fact that Trump has said now multiple times he wants to nationalize the elections, referring to the midterms. And and why it's such a big deal, obviously, is that's terrifying, and of course, but it's it's more, and I did the Wednesday show about this, so I'm not gonna go too hard on it, and I'm more interested in what you think, but if people are really, really curious, they can listen to the, Wednesday show about my whole deep dive on how crazy this is, but, yeah, what do you think when you hear this? I mean, I have so much thoughts, but he said, "Oh, we need to take over the election. We need to nationalize the voting in 15 places." And then he said it again the next day. And then the next day, Steve Bannon said they're going to send ICE to all the polling places to surround the voting booths. Uh, Immediate freak out, I think. And at the best case scenario, to me, it feels like just mentally preparing people for some shenanigans. But what do you think?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's taking all the talk about like maybe I'll run for a third term or maybe like people want a dictator, so that could be me. But it's worse when he gets more specific with it, which I think he did here. Because even the concept of nationalizing elections, like, do we really think that was a word and concept in Trump's vocabulary?
Exactly. That's a great point.
Yeah, clearly you have the Stephen Millers and Project 2025 guys like whispering in his ear, being like, giving him terrible suggestions. Yeah.
In parcel tongue.
Hashalaba.
And he's just learning what these words mean. Illegal aliens.
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't know what these words mean.
So it's terrifying. It's like, once again, like, people on the left have been warning about these things since before he ran for president the first time. And it's like, just like a sad I told you so of like, we don't want to say it because it's just sad all around and we don't feel good saying it. But
I'd be so happy if they were wrong. Yeah, it'd be unbelievable.
Right. I mean, one thing he said in those same comments was that illegal immigrants are being brought to the United States to vote, which is just such an absurd conspiracy theory that's even dumber than normal Trump conspiracy theories because of like all the risk that's involved to cast one fake vote. move like, your family across the border illegally to give Kamala Harris one vote in a country of 350 million people. Like, it's just so dumb.
And like, I don't think people realize. I mean, you would hope that people would realize, but I don't think most people clearly understand that it's illegal for people who are non-U.S. citizens to vote. Like, this isn't something that happens. And there's no proof that this is happening at like some large-scale level in any shape or form. This is all part of the narrative of they're going to steal, like they stole the 2020 election. And I already can hear it, Rick, how they're going to frame it. If the Democrats do well, they're going to say, how is that possible with how well Trump did in the last election? That the only explanation for these traditionally conservative districts to have gone blue is if they're fraudulent. And that's so dumb because no, they had 2 years of you being literally horrible as data points to change their minds. And I can just feel it in my bones that that's going to be the argument that they say. And it's going to be a major conspiracy theory.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just like him digging up the Georgia conspiracy theories again. Like, he just cannot believe that Georgia voted for Biden over him. Like, he just still can't believe it 6 years later. And yeah, I mean, he's just setting the groundwork to actually do these things. So then once they're done, they'll already have the planned like defenses, I guess. Caroline Leavitt will already have whatever bullshit she's preparing to.
Yeah, she's got that locked and loaded. Yeah. And the president actually thinks it's humorous that he's now in charge of everything. He's actually a martyr. He's actually a hero for taking over the elections. It's also like the admin of it is ridiculous. I mean, this is a lot of what I talked about on Wednesday, but there are 1 million poll workers and like hundreds of thousands of voting places across the country. Like, what are we even talking about here? We're gonna replace them all with MAGA vetted people. And also, I think, like, it is really freaking me out. I think not that. So, one of the things that I learned this week that maybe, Rick, you didn't know, because I didn't know it, or maybe you already did. So, I was on Trump's Truth Social account this week for another story we're going to get to later. But I didn't realize that he's posting 10 times a day at least about how the 2020 election was stolen. Like, he's posting about that and, like, retweeting random accounts that say, like, "New evidence unlocked, revealed that shows Georgia, blah, blah, blah." Like, he's doing that literally all day long, every day, like, without fail. And I didn't realize that he was so consistently pumping that narrative out still so actively. Did you know that?
No, I did not know the extent.
Isn't that crazy? Like, that's wild, right?
Yeah, it's wild. He's clearly setting the ground. Like you said, I mean, he's not going to do well in the midterms because it's very rare that a president's party does well in the midterm elections anyway. And that's not even taking into account his 39% approval rating. The economy's not doing well. ICE is kidnapping people on the streets. He's sharing racist Lion King memes, like,
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
there's so many reasons to think that the Democrats are going to do well in the midterms. Don't want to jinx it, but
Just from default,
right.
Like, I talked about this, I'm gonna keep plugging these Wednesday shows, but, like, a few weeks ago about the China-US thing. Like, countries aren't going to China because they love China, they just don't like the US right now because of Trump, and it's the same with the Democrats. Like, if people vote for Democrats, it's not gonna be because of their love for Dems. They hate the Dems.
Right.
But, like, if the house is actively on fire, people are a little bit more willing to try something new, you know? And, yeah, I just really am the saddest part of this whole thing, right, and this is all Trump's fault, is that there's so much distrust now in elections and that is so, so dangerous because if we don't trust the election process one way or another, like, can democracy even work? Just, like, more theoretically? Because, like, isn't that the entire lever that, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what separates you from Russia, right? When they have their fake elections or some random other countries that have, like, technical elections every year and they go 100-0 and you're, "Oh my god, his popularity is 99%. How is that possible?" Like, will elections ever be trusted again? What do you think about this?
Yeah, it is scary. And it's funny because the Culture Corner later in this episode, we're going to talk about betting on politics. And what you just said made me think of, like, would you bet on America to continue have free elections for the next, like, 50 years? Like, I don't know. It's I don't know if I'd want to put money on that.
Yeah. And, like, here's a question for you. And this is one I've been thinking about basically all week. This is like kind of what I really want to hear your opinion on. Like, if the midterms come around and Trump and the MAGA people dominate, right? They maintain all three branches, and it's just the continuation. Will you believe? Like, will your gut be to believe it?
I think it depends on a lot of things.
Yeah, that's
Like,
probably true. Too early to call.
yeah, too early. It depends on the polls. And, like, people in Trump world think, like, polls are totally inaccurate, like, blah,
They're
blah,
not.
blah.
Yeah.
But they're not. It's just Trump slightly overperforms polls. But, like, if you looked at most polling before 2024, like, they leaned Trump was going to win that election. Like, it wasn't a surprise that he won. So, and even in 2016, where everyone says, oh, the polls got it completely wrong, like, Nate Silver was still giving Trump, like, a 40% chance of winning, like, the day before the election. Like, it's not like it was totally unpredictable. So, like, I think it depends. Certainly if the midterms were held today and all the signs are not in Trump's favor and Trump and Republicans did unbelievably well, I would definitely be suspicious, which is kind of sad. But how about you?
Same. It's the same. And I hate that so much. I don't wanna be the conspiracy guy, you know? And it's just like especially if over the summer they keep doing these redistricting pushes and stuff like that, it's just gonna be so hard to not have that thought. And the fact that me and you are, like, teetering on, like, believing a conspiracy, like, half the left-wing people are gonna be wicked into it if that were to happen, and that's gonna be a huge talking point, I think. And, like, so it almost feels, like, inevitable that no matter what the results of these midterms are, there's gonna be mass conspiracy around that, and I feel like that's so, so depressing. And for context, I don't think people realize that that doesn't have to be the case. Like, in the Al Gore Bush election with all the voting machine drama in Florida and stuff like that, I don't think anyone was thinking that, like, "Oh, this is rigged by someone or not," and that was, like, so close, and so the country weathered that pretty well, even though, like, that was way more fuel for conspiracy than the Trump-Biden election. I mean, and then the fact that there's that recording of Trump to the Georgia governor going, "Find me the votes." I mean, I feel like
Right.
that closes the case immediately. And then lastly, to your point of the polls, it's such a good point. People don't know how to handle stats well. I mean, to be fair, they're really hard to understand. But like, if they gave Hillary like a 70% chance to win, that's a 30% chance to lose. That's like 1/3. If I told someone they had a 1/3 chance of having cancer, that mole on their leg was cancer, would you feel confident you don't have cancer? Like, no, you'd be freaking out.
Right.
So like,
People get confused when they hear Hillary had a 70% chance to win. They think that meant that some poll showed Hillary had 70% support, which is completely absurd, right?
exactly. Yeah, 100%. That's not what that means at all. Like
Right.
it will, and to be fair, like people are bad at probability, so it's it's fine. I wanted to like talk about the Bannon thing because of course Caroline Levitt said like something like we don't have any formalized plans to have ICE at all the polls, but who knows? So they'll probably do it. But I think not only will ICE like, I don't I think that's such like a scam because, okay, if they have ICE around the polls and, you know, people vote less, yeah, no shit, they're killing Americans, and especially if you're, like, on a green card or well, not that they can vote, but you know what I mean, like, like, non-white people, why wouldn't you be terrified of ICE? They're just racially profiling everyone. So, like, there's a chance, like, you're just a Mexican American dude walking to the polls. They could grab you and then you can't vote anymore. And they'll say, oh, sorry. Yeah, we got the wrong guy. I mean, they do that all of the time. So, like, it's so obviously not just about, like, checking if people are illegal at the door. And also, like, there is no law to say that you need to be even doing that, period. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like personally, like I'm a white guy born in the United States, and like if I saw a team of a dozen ICE dudes standing in front of a door, like I would definitely feel less safe, not more safe,
Of
than if
course,
they
like a
weren't there.
militarized and like an ICE guy. You know what I mean? Like, they kill people.
Right. And we already make it so difficult for people to vote by not having it on a Saturday. Um,
Exactly.
and like limited hours and everything. Like anything that discourages people even more is a win for Republicans because old white people vote at higher rates than anybody else.
100%, and that's why low voter turnouts tend to lean conservative always. So yeah, I just wanted to get ahead of that because I can guarantee you the entire, what's so bad about that? We don't want illegals voting. Like, that's not the point of that, and also not the role of ICE. Like, again, that's not their job.